conservation of mass. Antoine Lavoisier lived back in the 1700s. He found that the mass of substances before chemical change was always equal to the mass of substances after the change. This was kind of big news because you think about that wood in the fireplace. Is it heavier or the same or lighter after you burn it? Lighter. It's lighter. So this is probably what people were used to seeing, is that you burn something and it gets lighter. And, people got curious and tried to figure out what was going on. Lavoisier burned things in closed containers, and so nothing could escape. What happens when you burn your log in your fireplace is you've got carbon dioxide and water vapor that are escaping into the air. And that's why the log weighs less. If you capture everything that's given off, you find that the mass that you start with is equal to the mass that you end up with. And so this became known as the law of conservation of mass. And this is an important principle. Matter is neither created nor destroyed in physical or chemical processes. Now that does leave out nuclear processes for those of you who are curious, but we don't talk about nuclear chemistry in this class, so we can ignore that. These sorts of examples are sometimes very confusing for students. Do not overthink this, okay? So if 1 gram of hydrogen combines with 8 grams of oxygen, law of conservation of mass says that the mass that you start with is equal to the mass you end up with. So if you add 1 gram of hydrogen plus 8 grams of oxygen, you end up with 9 grams of water. These questions are on a very simple level. You learn a little more about chemistry, and then you're bothered by questions like this. So because of that, we know that if we had 3 grams of hydrogen combining with 24 grams of oxygen, we'd get 27. I should write on here. So 1 gram plus 8 grams gives us 9 grams, and 3 grams plus 24 grams gives us 27 grams. So, because 3 plus 24 is 27. So, if you had 50 grams of water that decomposed and made 45 grams of oxygen, how much hydrogen would be produced? 5. Because here we're taking the problem and turning it around. 50 grams is making 45 grams of oxygen plus question mark. Well, this is very much like a math equation. 50 equals 45 plus x. What's x? Well, x is 5 grams. And this is interesting. The ratio here of hydrogen to oxygen is 1 to 8. And the ratio here is 1 to 8, 3 to 24. For water, the ratio is always 1 to 8. Did I skip something? No, I didn't.